99% of human history happened before the invention of writing, agriculture, cities, and even before modern humans existed. This theory starts there, in the very beginning, in what we call the Stone Age. Let's begin with a description of the Stone Age. Why is it called the Stone Age? The Stone Age refers to the long period of prehistory when tools were primarily made from stone, before metalworking was developed. The Stone Age begins over 3 million years ago with the first stone tools and ends only a few thousand years ago with the spread of metal technology. That means the Stone Age covers more than 99% of human history, including most of the history of our own species, Homo sapiens, as well. This period covers everything before writing, cities, and civilization as we know it. And for almost all of that time, the only things that survive are stone and sometimes bone. Everything else, wood, plant fiber, leathers, furs, have all long disintegrated and returned back into the earth. The only things left to reconstruct how our early ancestors may have lived are items left behind of the hardest and most indestructible materials, and those that we are lucky enough to find. The Stone Age is broken down into 3 eras: the Paleolithic, or the Old Stone Age, the Mesolithic, or the Middle Stone Age, and the Neolithic, or the New Stone Age. We are going to start with the Paleolithic era. Everyone's heard of the Paleolithic era, especially if you remember the paleo diet trend. But the Paleolithic era is also broken down into 3 distinct eras: the Lower Paleolithic, the Middle Paleolithic, and the Upper Paleolithic. Each one introduces new technologies and behaviors, so we'll take them one at a time. For now, we're focusing only on the Lower Paleolithic. The Lower Paleolithic is the first and longest chapter of the Stone Age. It begins where we have evidence that early hominins first picked up stones and intentionally shaped them into tools. By the way, you'll hear hominin and hominid used a lot. You may wonder what the difference is, so let's go ahead and clear that up. Hominins are the group that include us, modern humans, and our extinct human relatives, like Australopithecus and Neanderthal. And hominids are the broader group that don't just include us and our extinct relatives, but also the great apes, like chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans. So all hominins are hominids, but not all hominids are hominins. So when was the Lower Paleolithic? The Lower Paleolithic is the earliest part of the Stone Age. It begins around 3.3 million years ago, based on the earliest stone tools we found so far. The ending is less precise. Technology spreads slowly and at different times in different regions, but it's generally placed around 300,000 years ago. I also want to point out that the Stone Age and the Paleolithic Age are archaeological eras. You might hear terms like Pliocene, Pleistocene, or Ice Age, but these are all terms to explain geological eras. I bring this up because hearing all those terms can become very confusing and you start thinking, okay, what era are we talking about? Geologically, the Lower Paleolithic Age takes place beginning in the middle of the latter Pliocene and into the Pleistocene. Most of the Stone Age takes place during the Pleistocene, an Ice Age climate period. And if you're curious, we are now in the Holocene epoch, which started at the end of the Pleistocene. Archaeologists divide time based on tools, while geologists divide time based on climate and rock layers. These systems overlap, but they're not the same thing. Archaeologists further divide the Lower Paleolithic into 3 major tool-making traditions: the Lemequian, the Oldowan, and the Acheulean. These aren't cultures or tribes. They're names used to describe different styles of stone tools. Now, it's time to focus on the very beginning, the Lemequian era. Let's step into their world in the next video, where I'll start demonstrating some of these early Stone Age technologies. Let's catch a glimpse at how some of these early humans may have lived. Bye, I'll see you there.